Hey, espresso lovers, Mark here. I've got Nick, who's our product specialist. We've got something really special we're going to take a look at today. What did you put together, Nick?
Yep, so this is the Rocket Espresso Pro Brewing Kit. For a limited time, we'll be offering this with any of our Rocket Espresso machines compatible with their E61 groups. We've got a Baristapro 20-gram Nanotech basket, Cafewerks silicone gasket, Nanotech shower screen for the E61, Rocket Bottomless portafilter, Rocket milk jug, a bag of Bean Espresso Blend, and then a bag of the Carraro Globo Rosso.
So let's go through what's in the Pro Brewing Kit, and this is just going to like upgrade your machine and also get you a couple very different sorts of coffees to try, right?
I would say, you know, when you're just getting your machine, experimenting is tons of fun. This is going to give you the tools that you need to pull some really tasty shots, and then coffees on totally different ends of the spectrum to really taste, you know, some different stuff. And
I've got some tools here because we're going to take out the stock shower screen and gasket and take a look at what's different about these. But let's talk about each of these just real quick. So we've got the Baristapro Nanotech basket. I'm going to just hold that up just a little bit. This is the 18 gram?
This is the 20 gram.
20 gram.
Yeah, so you're getting bottomless. You got enough room for that 20 gram in there.
And what's the Nanotech all about?
So Nanotech is basically like the non-stick coating of the espresso world, and on this basket that just
no actual nanoparticles.
No
just
nanoparticles,
so we're clear.
no nano machines, nothing like that. Just a little bit of a quartz coating. You know,
it's like a non-stick coating.
Non-stick, yeah.
For your filter basket.
So you know, basically what's going to happen is when you're done brewing, it'll be easier to knock out your puck because it's harder for the coffee and the oils to adhere to that. Don't do any aggressive cleaning because you can strip it, but otherwise that's about it.
No, this is pretty much all I ever use anymore are the Nanotech baskets because there's a little more, there's some more going on here.
There's a bit more, yeah. So it's not just the Nanotech, but IMS actually double punches these holes, so they're very clean and they're a slightly wider diameter than a stock basket. So your flow is going to be a bit better. You can grind a bit finer, get a little bit more surface area, pull just richer shots.
So you can get richer shots out of this. Another thing I like about these, no internal ridging, right? So it's just straight down. They've engineered the hole pattern here properly to really give you a better extraction. Exactly. And one other thing, you know, about these is number one, you know, most stock baskets you get, they're not going to tell you anything about the basket. And I'm going to try and hold this so we can get a look at that. But over here we've got like these D2661NT IMS made in Italy. That's 661, that's
the number of holes,
the number of holes. And then the 26 that's the millimeter in height. So this is the 20 gram. They also make a 22, but in this kit, we're doing the 20 gram.
20 in this one, exactly.
But very, very nice baskets, all I ever use. Next up, we got the silicone.
The Cafewerks gasket, that's right. So 8 millimeters here. This is just a terrific little replacement gasket for the stock one that comes in the machine. Silicone's just a little bit more resistant to mechanical wear and heat. Creates a great seal.
So you're not going to have to crank in your portafilter as hard. You're going to clocking in is what it's called. You always want to try and clock to 6. And you know, this is a softer material than your stock gases. I'm going to take one out in a second, so we'll show you the difference there. Now these, and we'll go through this in a second, but also on here it tells you what it is. Stock gasket never is labeled with anything. It's just this.
Well, I mean, because these companies do nothing but make these products, right? So they have a little bit more info about them.
And I'll show you, like some people ask, so which end goes in? And I'll show you that in a second. Going along with that, we have the shower screen. And I really love these. I also put these in all the machines I use for the most part.
Yeah, so same treatment, the Nanotech, so you've got that same sheen on there. It's basically a precision shower screen for the E61, so you pry off the one that's on there, stick that in. And basically you've got two benefits. You've got the Nanotech for the non-stick, just easier to clean up, fewer grinds adhering to that screen, but then you can maybe get closer on that, but the placement of the holes, there's not an actual wire mesh that covers them. It's all designed for just an even flow of water.
So this is perfectly smooth. And again, I'm going to pull out the stock screen in a minute. You'll see just how different that is. And a really, you know, those stock screens, a lot of times you get like the water concentrating in one area. This gives you that super nice, actual, like a real shower.
Exactly.
And then over here, of course, the bottomless portafilter.
Not really too much to say other than that we've got a very nice chrome-plated brass bottomless portafilter. Does come with a basket that you can replace immediately. So these are great training tools.
Could be your backup basket.
Your backup basket, exactly.
Yeah.
These are great training tools though because you can actually visualize the flow of the coffee. You can see if you have channeling. So as much a training tool as a little accoutrement for your Instagram feed, I guess. So.
Yeah, we like to say, watching those shots out of the Bottomless is kind of sexy.
A little sexy.
A little sexy. Some people call it espresso porn. Don't want anybody to get uncomfortable. It's just stuff that looks really fun. It's really fun to watch.
It's
and a
very cool.
Great training tool. So there's that comes with it.
Yep.
And then, of course, we have the branded pitch. Rocket's
this is
all
a Rocket
about the
branded
branding.
pitcher, so you're going all in on the brand. And I do want to say color may vary on these depending on how many pitchers we have. So you got the Rocket logo right here. This is a Motta Italian product too. So we are kind of keeping it all in the family with some Italian products here for the Pro Brewing Kit, which is very in step with Rocket, I think.
So, Nick, I've got the Joe Bean shirt on with
the Joe Bean.
The Joe Bean, because it's a honeybee on here, right?
Yes.
And we've got the Joe Bean kind. We have these shirts too.
We do. We've got that.
Like
we've got one with a leaf, and we've got a hoodie for those of you in colder climates like us. So.
But we have the Joe Bean coffee here. We said, these are two very, very different coffees. So if you really want to try opposite ends of the spectrum, Joe Bean is a specialty. So tell us about the Joe Bean.
Yeah. They're a local roaster here in Rochester, and we partnered with them to make this blend for us. It's 100% Arabica, more lightly roasted. It's going to be much fruitier, much juicier, great in milk, almost like a bit of like a fruit milkshake almost. Very, very tasty.
So we did a lot of tasting to get to this blend, right?
We did a lot of tasting.
Yeah.
We were very jittery by the time we
caffeine.
settled on the one that we wanted. So.
But then, right next to that, opposite end of the spectrum is kind of a classic Italian-style bean blend, but one that goes a little further in one respect, right?
So this is the Globo Rosso by Cafe Carraro. So we just brought on their coffees. You did your tasting of them, and this one is a standout because it's got probably the strongest Robusta to Arabica ratio I've seen of any of the coffees we carry. It's 70% Robusta, 30% Arabica. Very bold, very punchy.
When we did the taste testings, I really like this. This is very, very interesting. My colleague AJ said it was a roller coaster ride, really good roller coaster ride. So. You buckle up, but one of the most interesting blends that I've tasted in a long time. Lots of variation in the flavors. You went through it start to finish. Very, very interesting. And don't let the Robusta, put you off, right? Because it used to be, like if you go back 50 years, that's what they, it didn't have the best reputation, but it's just come so much further. Yeah. It's really well done now. I
mean, we can kind of come full circle with your bees, right? So, quick sidebar. Robusta is kind of a, like a market name for it. It's really Coffea canephora, and then Arabica is a mutation of that. And so Arabica is more delicate. It needs more care when it's grown. It usually needs to be shade grown. Right. And so coffee is self-pollinating, but all the plants that need to be grown around the coffee, they need a little help,
the bees,
to get things going. So.
All right. So before we take a look at that gasket, just one more step. So we got the two coffees, the milk pitcher, Bottomless, shower screen, group gasket, and then Nanotech, the precision basket. Real quick, one thing, I went to using levelers, precision tools for coffee, and one thing I like about the precision baskets is just how well they fit. If you get non-precision stuff,
well, you'll get a little bit of play. You might get some coffee on the edges there. Your tamp's just not going to be as snug.
So let's take a look at this. I'm going to pop this out. Now, I did loosen it up. So usually I go at these, there's a couple different ways depending on how old your group gasket is. You may have to put a screw up in there and yank it out.
If it's real brittle, real worn out.
A lot of times you can just kind of wedge it out with a screwdriver, which is what I did on this one. So I'm just going to pull this out, and we'll kind of compare the difference here.
And so basically, you just used your flathead. There's a little ridge on the edge of that screen, and you just popped it right out.
And if you can't get there, then sometimes you have to go to a tool that's a little bit more aggressive, a pick. Or you can screw a screw right into the rubber here. And you really got to kind of lean over into that, and then use that to get a pair of pliers on it.
Pliers just yank it out, exactly.
So what I want to show you though is the difference here. So let's take a look at the shower screen. So this is the stock shower screens, and this is what you're going to get. This is what's going to look like in just about any espresso machine when it comes. So it has a real screen here. I mean, there's texture
like a wire mesh, like really tightly woven, exactly.
Wire mesh. Then you go over to the Nanotech. This is perfectly smooth.
Totally smooth.
So the screen is kind of integrated into those holes. So you're not going to catch coffee up here. It's going to clean, you literally, at the end of the day, you go up there with a rag, you just wipe it clean if you want to. I mean, do back flush on a regular basis.
Backflush, yeah, exactly.
But this stays very, very clean. And of course, you actually get a really nice shower from these. That shower water comes
better
down.
distribution of that water under the puck.
A lot of times with these, you'll see the water all comes off of one spot. And these, you just
And
get
that's
that
not good.
shower.
If you've looked at that and you thought, oh, that's how it should look, you don't want all that water pooling in one place.
And then, of course, the difference in the gasket. So this one's hasn't seen a lot of use, but you can see it's got the indentation already from clocking in. So it's a much harder material than these. So these are very, very supple. Like I can group that up right in my hand. I couldn't. I mean, I could try.
I mean, I'm worried that thing's going to start giving.
It's going to start.
I mean,
so these get brittle as well. So the trick to doing these. So I've been asked in the comments and the videos a lot of times, hey, Mark, which side goes up, right? And if you can see it here, there's a side that's flatter, and then on the other side there's a side that's rounder, right? It's got like a little bevel to the edge, if you will. So that's the side that you want to put up. And it also happens on these, happens to be the side with the indication of what it is.
with the writing on there too.
And did we talk about the different sizes? Because this is the yellow one. So this is the E61.
Well, this is orange.
Orange, sorry. I'm colorblind today.
But we've got orange and we've got yellow. This one's 8 millimeters. And basically it's just if your machine's a bit older, you've ground down some of the metal inside the group. The yellow one is 8.5 millimeters. That will fit a bit more snugly in there. But both work. Your machine's new. Go with the yellow one.
Go with the yellow on the newer machine? Or orange. Orange.
Getting tongue-tied here.
I like the way you told me, you differentiated earlier, said, yellow, it's like it's faded newspaper, it's older. That's the one to go with on an older machine.
Even though it's a brand new gasket.
Right. So the way these go in, it's really easy. You just kind of put it together like that. Then you got to kind of work it up. There's a channel in there. It always helps if you're going to clean out the channel where the gasket goes. So you stick it up, and sometimes you get real lucky and they just go right in. And you have to kind of work it into that groove.
Work it in around the edges, right? Just push the gasket all the way up. So.
And you don't want to do this when your machine's hot.
No. So take it right out of the box, open up your lovely Pro Brewing Kit, and then just plug it all in.
And then if I'm lucky, there we go.
There you go. And look at that. Just tighten that in. That's a nice 6 o'clock right there, And that's
what you do. And you don't have to crank that in. No. A lot of times people get a new machine with these hardware gaskets, they worry, it's not clocking in all the way. And no, it's not, because these gaskets are really hard. They're going to break in and get that little channel. So one more time, what's in the Pro Brewing upgrade?
Yep. So
the ones, not these.
No. Locked in there, we've got a Cafewerks 8 millimeter gasket and a IMS E61 Nanotech shower screen, Baristapro 20 gram Nanotech basket, a Rocket Espresso milk jug, 500 milliliters, a bag of Bean Espresso Blend, and a bag of Carraro Tazzadoro. Oh no. Globo Rosso.
Globo Rosso. We like the Tazzadoro too.
We do like the Tazzadoro.
But we really want to put together something that was opposite ends of the spectrum here. So if you want to try something completely different, you've got two to try there. And of course, if we didn't mention the Bottomless portafilter for those really beautiful pours, it also helps improve your technique where you can see where there might be some channeling in your puck if you're not tamping or that
might
kind of
also
thing,
just tell you it's time to get a better grinder.
Yeah, that could be it too. Well, Nick, listen, thanks a lot for taking us through the Pro Brewing upgrade for Rocket machines. Guys, if you like this stuff and you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe. Until we see you next time, I'm Mark. I got Nick with me today. We'd love to have you back here for more of the best on everything coffee, brought to you by Whole Latte Love.